Hey, I think I need to turn my volume down. Hello, everyone. Let me see. My hair is kind of crazy. I'm really excited to see all of you. I might need to get closer. Let me come a little closer. So that bell means that someone's coming in and someone's coming out. Everyone is muted. I don't like that. Let me unmute. More. Okay, let me get a chat open. So let me just put here, hi everyone. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, I think we are ready to go. I would like to I wish I could hear you all. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, I can hear you all. Okay. Some people are muted, some people aren't. Let me try to unmute people. Part of the reason why I wanted us to have to come together at one time is because there's nothing like having questions answered right on the spot. And this course moves so quickly that we really don't have time for being wasteful with time. Okay, so I'm trying to unmute everyone, and because we've got several people here, instead of doing an introduction, I would love to go around and have everybody introduce themselves, but just for the sake of time, I'm gonna say maybe just everyone chat. This would be perfect because I need to have a record of who's here. So if you could type your name, introduce yourself, and then type your name as it shows up on my records so that I can give you credit and I can know that you're here, right? Does everyone see the chat room?
Yes.
Yes? Can you do that? Do you want me to get it started? So I say, hi, everyone. I'm Kalila. I will be your instructor for this course. My major is math. So if we could just, So what I want to do is, so if you're on the wait list, then here's what you need to do. After this session is over, and I'll say, all right, bye everyone. But then it's not bye for you. Hang out a little bit, and people who are on the wait list or trying to get in will be, I'll have special instructions for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Maybe I should type that. Do I need to type that or can I just?
We got you.
We got it? Okay, all right. I'm really excited. I've been working hard and I want to, because this is a fast-paced course. How many people have already signed in to Canvas?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, is everyone aware that we are using Canvas for this course?
Yes.
It's a 4-week course, right?
Huh?
4-week course.
This is a 6-week course.
Okay.
6-week course. Typically, the statistics course is 17.
Okay.
Is this better? I'm trying to speak clearly. Typically, this course is 17 weeks. We are doing this course in 6 weeks, which means we are running about 3 times as fast as we typically would. So we will cover like a chapter every 2 days, pretty much. Okay? We won't go through the entire textbook, but we will cover most of the textbook. And if there are sections that we don't cover, I'll turn those into some extra credit assignments. But we're going to cover pretty much like all of the standard stuff that's in a course. I've peeled away the stuff that I can peel away so that we're not packing in extra because time is of the essence. Okay. So now here's what I want to do is I want to I have some more slides. let me do, here we go. So these are the slides. So everyone should, at this point, be able to see my screen, which is, it should say, welcome to Math 13 orientation.
That's mom. Yeah, that's mommy.
Oh.
All right, so now I'm gonna try to have the chat screen open, but I don't know if I can have it open. So let me know, like help me out. Let me know if you're having questions so that I can stop. All right, we ready to go?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So this course is at College of Alameda, and I'm Dr. Kalila Bill. I prefer to be called Kalila or Dr. Bill. We will meet 2 or 3 times. We'll only meet for exams. And when we meet for an exam, it'll be in the evening, about 7 o'clock in the evening, 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the evening. And we'll meet at the College of Alameda, okay? So you've got to be able to get to the College of Alameda on the specific days that are listed in the syllabus. So if you all could just tell me, is this your first, well, for some of you, this is your first online course. For some of you, this is not your first online course.
This is not my first.
Not your first?
This is not my first either.
Is this the first online course for anybody?
Yeah.
Yes?
My first time. Yes.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this, because we've got a mixture. Lean in on the people who have had online courses before. Even if this is your first online course, it might be something that you're not used to, because this is the second online course for me. Okay, yeah, not my first. Might be weird because math, as we all know, math is a little different, right, than an English or another type of course. What makes it difficult? I cannot hear you clearly from Reed. Okay, so hi, Reed. Reed, I don't know what's going on. Let me know what you need. But I'm trying to speak clearly. Is the issue me not speaking clearly? I want to make sure everyone can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm also recording this. Okay. Okay, internet. Okay. So math courses are difficult to do online because if you have a question that involves an equation, how are you going to ask your question, right? It's difficult to type using mathematical symbols. What I want to do now is show you the technology that we have with this meeting place right here. So I'm going to share with you what's called a whiteboard. Now, you should be able to see just like a whiteboard, right? Mm-hmm. And I can just type whatever. So say I need to type some symbol, you know, like sigma or X bar. You should see now some writing on the screen. And you all also should be able to contribute and write on the screen as well. So can you all let me know that you know how to,
Not working.
No.
Some people are writing on it. Do you see how in green and different colors?
How do you write it? Oh.
Like a
Yeah.
drawing.
Let's see. Oh.
Right, so there should be like a little toolbar, and that toolbar will let you erase. It'll let you change colors, like I've got different colors. And one of the things that I have in mind is we can possibly hold office hours and communicate in this way. So this can kind of bridge the gap of needing to write math symbols, but we're in, you know, 2 different locations, okay? So that's something that we'll talk about and we'll set up as we get a little bit into the course. I'm available to hold like online face-to-face office hours. If need be, I'm thinking we might start out just doing it once a week, but we can, you know, we can see about that. Okay. Let me go back to our, so the bottom line is that whenever you have an online course, the thing that's different is that it is really driven by you following the deadlines. The way I've set up the course is to have little small chunks for each day. And I have it set up for Monday through Thursday. Now, this first week is a little different because Monday and Tuesday, everyone is kind of getting started and we're doing orientation. But in general, the assignments are set up for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I encourage you to use Friday and Saturday and Sunday to get ahead because that will ease up the amount of work that you need to do. Also, you can turn in assignments early with no problem. However, turning in assignments late is either not going to be allowed or there's going to be a penalty associated with it, right? And so we'll look at a couple of examples so we'll be able to see what that looks like. But it's really important for you to stay on top of the assignments, okay? Because the course goes very fast. I have taught this course in the summer one time before. It was 2 or 3 years ago. And typically the course would meet from 6 to 9:15, Monday through Thursday. Okay, so in my mind, I've set up assignments and we're assuming that you're going to sit down for a little over 3 hours, Monday through Thursday, and then study outside of that. Okay, so just keep in mind, I'm emphasizing this because it's really easy to kind of forget the pace at which we're going to be moving. Your first assignments are due Wednesday, and you all are already ahead of the curve because you are participating in this orientation. We have a packed house. We have like over 13 people waiting to get in. People who do not sign in, people who do not complete their assignments will be dropped on Wednesday because we don't have space and the course moves too fast, right? So like a day is like a week, almost a week. And so if you miss 2 or 3 weeks in a math class, it's hard to catch up. So I'm gonna help you, to kind of move along. Okay, so the main components of the course, I have added, since a lot of people have taken online courses before, you're familiar with discussion boards. Okay, so we will have a discussion board in this course as well. Each week I'll post a prompt and you want to respond to the prompt. Okay, welcome. Somebody just joined us. You want to respond to the prompt by Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you respond to someone else's prompt, right? So I already have the first week is like an easy week just to kind of introduce yourselves, and I'll start off each discussion post. The next component of the course is homework, and there are 2 types of homework. There's written homework, and there is MyLab and Mastering homework. How many people are familiar with Pearson or MyLab or Cengage or any kind of online homework? You with me with this?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Most people hopefully have kind of seen it before. So you'll have homework like that. It is that MyLab and Mastering homework. You have as many tries as you want, infinitely many tries. I encourage you to use it. I pick about 5 problems, 5 questions for each section, right? Good, Savannah says, never used it, but I'll learn. Good, that's the right attitude.
It's 18:45.
Thank you. All right, so that MyLab and Mastering homework is homework that you can try it as many times and get your score perfect, get all those points. On the other hand, the written homework is something that you're going to fill out and upload it to Canvas, and I'm going to grade it. So I'm going to show your work. The questions are more open-ended. The reason why I've started incorporating written homework is because the exams, 2 of the exams are written, right? And so if you've been practicing using the MyLab and Mastering, then you might not be showing your work. You might not be used to that. And so now, when we switch over to doing the exam, because the exam isn't on the computer, you're kind of thrown a bit. So to help with that, I'm giving assignments that are kind of taking the homework and breaking it up into part where you show your work and part where you do on the computer. Okay, the next component is quizzes. Now, quizzes are done completely online, line. So they're done through the My Lab and Mastering, and I have a quiz for each chapter. However, the quizzes aren't at the end of the chapter. The quizzes are all the day before the exam. So if exams are on Tuesday, I think exams are either like Tuesday or Thursday, then the day before the exams, we don't have any assignments other than to just do the chapter quizzes, okay? And the idea is that you'll have a day kind of to let all of your other information soak in, to study, and to use the quiz as a practice, as practice for the exams. I also put practice quizzes up, and you can try the practice quizzes as many times as you like, and then that can help you to prepare to take the online quiz, which you can take once. Okay. The last component is exams. So we have 3 exams in this class. The first exam is online, take home, fill it out, right? It'll be open for 1 day, and within that 1 day, you'll do the quiz or the exam. The other 2 exams, exam number 2 and exam number 3, the exams that are face-to-face, actually have 2 parts. One is take-home, so half of it is take-home, and then half of it is in class. Now, part of the reason why I do that and have the exam split so the part of it is take-home is because I want to minimize the stress that comes from testing somebody and, from like, oh, I know this, but at this moment, is not showing up, or you know what I'm saying? You can you just get flustered from that pressure. And so I want your exam scores to be more indicative of your knowledge. So that's why I said, let's just have part of it be, on the spot in class. And then part of it is something that you work on and you perfect it, get help from others, right? Do all that you need to do and go ahead and have a thorough showing on that, okay? The last thing about exams is that there is an optional 4th exam. The 4th exam is put in place because some students might, for some reason, I've had the craziest things happen to students, right? You're on your way and something happens to your car, right? And now here you are, or someone gets sick or something happens. And since this is to answer Amy's question, you cannot take exams early. You cannot take exams late. The exams are only offered when they're offered. They're just offered once, right? Everything else in the course, you can do it early. The quizzes, you can go in and start your quiz right now, but the exams are only available during exam time, right? So if something happens, you might need to, and you miss an exam, you might need to replace it. And so I have an optional exam at the very end for that, okay? But the best case scenario is to go ahead, knock it out, do your exams, 1, 2, and 3, and then you don't have to worry about doing that last exam. So the number of questions on each exam vary based on, some questions are really long. So as we get towards the end of the semester, you'll have 1 question, but it has like 10 parts. So I'm only gonna have like 2 of those on the exam, right? Whereas in the beginning, there are more questions and because the questions are shorter. So the key for the exams is not necessarily how many questions, but how long they are. And the exams are supposed to be the in-class part, like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Because some people work slower, some people are faster. Okay, so that's the idea there. Oh yeah, the last little thing here is about extra credit. Can y'all see? Can y'all see my slides here?
Yes.
Even on the bottom with this. So the first exam, false. The first exam is not through my lab. The first exam is online, but it's not through my lab. Okay. The first exam is written and you have to show your work. And the rest are both take home and in person, correct? Okay. There are some, a few opportunities for extra credit, and I'll show you where those are stored. However, to pass this course, please don't count on like just doing extra credit or like doing a project at the end or whatever, because that doesn't work. In order to pass this course, the way I've set it up, you need to either work a little bit the entire time, or if that's not your style, then you got to max out on those exams, right? But if you're not doing the homework and you're not doing the quizzes, and you also do poorly on the exams, I will not have like extra credit projects at the end, okay? So when I offer extra credit, it's a few points here and there just to give you a cushion for like, if you miss some homeworks here or there. But ideally, to pass the class, you need to be doing most of the work most of the time, okay? All right. So what I'm going to do is let me talk about so Duke, I see your message here, and we're going to get to that when we do actually this next slide right here. So the tech requirements. So the next slide here is tech requirements. And what are we doing with tech requirements? Number one, calculator. For exams, you are going to be allowed, you can use a calculator that doesn't connect to the internet. So if you use Excel or if you use any other spreadsheet or statistical package, that's fine and that's great, but you're not going to be allowed to use your laptop during the exams. So you want to make sure that you know how to use TI-84. The math department has TI-84s that you can borrow. So so the math department has calculators that you can borrow, and I'll bring like a stack of those calculators, right? But it doesn't do you any good if you don't know where the keys are and how to do stuff. Mm-hmm. So to help out with that, I know of one app, and I think I only know of an app for Android phones, but there's like an app, it's like $7 or $8, and it's Wabbit or something. I have a link to it on Canvas. And you can get that app, and then on your phone, it has exactly the same buttons and the same layout as the TI-84. And so I think that's a really good option. If you have an Android, you just pay like $7 or $8 for that app. And then when you get to class, you know how to use the calculator in hand, right? Other than that, there are calculators that you can rent. So you can rent a calculator for the semester. To be honest, I am, not above buying a calculator, saving the receipt, returning the calculator, and doing that 2 or 3 times to get through. Because I'm just being honest, right? Because it's so important to be able to use the calculator. It's really difficult to do the exams. The second 2 exams you can't do at all without a calculator, right? And so, do it however you can, right? Get through, just make sure you have the materials. If you have someone, say for instance, you might have a TI-83 or you might have a TI-89, that's fine. Or also a Casio. Casios are like $40 and they look like, oh, that's a good buy. But the TI-84, although it's more expensive, is I think easier to use. So if you have something other than a TI-84, go ahead and just be prepared to like try to find alternate ways on your own, right? So all of the videos that I put up, all of the posts and the resources that I post are going to be assuming that you have a TI-84, okay? So that's the deal. Looking back here, are we allowed to use a sheet of notes for the exams? The further we go, the bigger the sheet of notes, right? So in the beginning, the first exam, which is take home, use notes, it's take home. Second exam, I think is like half a sheet of paper. And then the third exam, which has a lot of material, right, is gonna be a full sheet of paper. Where can I rent a calculator? I have a link on Canvas. We'll get to that. I'll show you that. Can I use a TI-84 Plus? Same thing as a TI-84, go for it. I think one of the differences between a TI-84 and a TI-84 Plus is that one of them is in color, right? So, I mean, the TI-84, TI-84 Plus, totally good. And thank you to Savannah and Duke Hey, compliments. Everyone likes them. Okay. Now, what are we doing? Okay, so for our tech requirements, we've got 2. So calculator, we're good with the calculator. The second 2 are Canvas and MyLab and Mastering. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to show you Canvas. Now to get to Canvas, we are going to, okay, I'm gonna try to do this. Okay, here we go. So you should see my Google. Here we go. Now I'm gonna Google Peralta Portal. Okay, Peralta Portal. You click on the portal, and then you'll have 2 options down here, one for students, one for faculty and staff. You'll click on students, and then it'll ask you for your login and all of that. If you have trouble, if you're not sure, excuse me, over on this left-hand side, login and password, reset instructions so you can reset your own login. If you need help, click here and you can get help, right? So that's really great. That's where the help is to sign in. Once you sign in, so I'm gonna sign in and we're gonna see what happens, but I'm gonna sign in for faculty. Okay, so I already have my password and stuff saved, okay? Once you sign in, you reach this landing page right here. And instead of faculty portal, yours will say student portal, okay? For instance, this is your email, Outlook. You've got all kinds of stuff here. The key thing here is this Canvas. Now, you can access Canvas through the website. There's also an app for Canvas, okay? And it's called Canvas Student. Here's a warning about the app. The app is a little weird, and sometimes assignments don't show up, or the links are wrong, or like due dates don't show up, okay? So not just my students, but other instructor students have kind of figured out that it is less reliable. So the app is less reliable than the website, okay? So even though it's convenient, just beware of that. So my expectation is that you're logging in to the website so that you have access to all the materials, okay? All right, so now you're at Canvas, you log in, and you'll have a dashboard, and your dashboard will have all the classes that you're taking that are using Canvas. You'll click here, you'll click on our course here, and we still have this spot. I don't know what's wrong with this link. There should be a cute picture there, but there's not. Okay, on the right-hand side, do you see this to do? This is telling you what stuff you have to do, right? Makes sense? Already, for me, I can see that 10 people have already submitted their discussion, and I need to grade them, okay? But for you, it'll have a list of what deadlines are coming up and what stuff you need to do, okay? Over here, so you'll start at home, you'll read this, you'll be amazed to say, oh, that's so interesting, Kalila. You will then go to, we can run down the syllabus. I click on the syllabus, and I've got a whole bunch of information here. Student learning outcomes. It's a lot of the same material that we have in the syllabus, in the hard copy of the syllabus. But this, thank you. This breaks down, thank you. This breaks down what we're doing and how your grade is calculated. So instead of basing things on percentages, your grade is based on points. And so at the end of the day, it's kind of like an old-fashioned, you know, like Mario and Luigi with the coins, right? So at the end of the day, I just look and see how many points do you have. If you have 880, you get an A, 780, right? You kind of see overall. Now, discussion posts. The course is 6 weeks long. Each week there's a discussion post. I drop one of the posts. You get it? So I drop a certain number of assignments because, you know, things happen, right? So I just take your best scores. So the discussion posts, each one is 10 points. Quizzes, even though 11 quizzes are offered, I take the top 10 scores. Written homework, right? there are more than 12. I think there are like 14 written homeworks, but you can see each one is 8 points. And you get an idea kind of overall, there will be about 1,000 points available plus extra credit, right? So 1,000 points plus extra credit, and you can see how many points you need in order to get whatever grade. And then out of this 600 points for exams, a large chunk of those points are for exams that are do at home exams. So you really the key to passing the course is to just kind of plug away and do all of the assignments. Just don't drop out, because if you drop out and stop doing stuff, that's how you end up not passing. But if you give it a good try, everything, then you'll be good to go. Okay. Now down here we have a list of all of the assignments, and the only thing that I'll add at this point, I'm going to put in something to give you credit for attending. I think it's going to be like 20 points for attending orientation. I'm going to throw that in because this is really important. But then other than that, I'm just going to be adding in extra credit opportunities. Okay. So like I said, you can get started. Some people have already gotten started on the course, and you just work it as much as you can. All right. Each day you'll have each of these things to do. Now, some of them will be in my lab. Some of them will be written homework. See, that's orientation written homework, right? For each section, I try to choose about 5 problems from the my lab. So it looks like it's a whole bunch of work, but it's not as bad as you might think, because each homework is like 5. The my lab and mastering, 5 points for each homework. And so you're going to do, like today, you've got 1.1 and 1.2. That's 2 of them right here, right? So you kind of get an idea there. And so that's the end of the syllabus. The big thing I want to point out is right here is a full version of the class syllabus. So you should check that full version, because that's our understanding, our mutual understanding of how we're going to run the course. If you are, for instance, DSPS student, all that kind of stuff, this is where we have that's the good stuff right there, is that syllabus. Okay, so that's the syllabus. Next thing here is modules. So here we are, we're in Canvas, and we're just kind of running through. Now let me show you how the modules look. Now I have set up modules, and that's basically taking the course and splitting it up into little chunks. I have a module for each week, week 1 all the way up to week 6. We are in week 1, and so you're going to be working in this module this week, right? So we're going to start off with doing orientation assignments, right? And then discussion time. We've got already, there's a discussion where you need to post. In fact, I can just show you the week 1 discussion. You click on it. So here are the instructions. Please introduce yourself by stating 2 truthful facts. So 2 truths and a lie. You might have heard of this or done it before in other classes. It's pretty popular. So I put my truth, and then, okay, I think number 2 is a lie. A lot of people are scared of heights. Okay, all right. So you put your truths and your lies, and then you go, and, right? So you get it. My dog has an Instagram. That's hilarious. Okay. All right, so that's the discussion post. You'll do your post, and then Canvas will keep track of the fact that you posted, right? Now, you get your post in by Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when you're going to respond to another student's post. And then finally, after someone has responded to the list, comment on whether the student was correct, and then write about how you plan on using statistics. So back here, I'll say, oh, correct. Here's how I use statistics. I use statistics to analyze, my progress and how successful I am as an instructor or whatever, right? So that's kind of to wrap it around. So that's just an example. Each week we'll have a different post, right? A different prompt. So there's discussion time. There also is this Q&A. The Q&A is where I want you to put your questions that would be helpful for everyone in the class to know, okay? If you have a question that is of a personal nature, then you should email me. But if you have a class that's not a question that's not personal, post it here in the Q&A. See, look at this. Right here, see, perfect question. This is a perfect example of what goes on in this discussion board, right? That way we can kind of help each other through it. Let me go back to modules. So you see each week we've got it set up, and you're gonna go in the week for that week and do and follow everything that's in that week. The other modules that I have set up, I have a module here with the TI-84 resources. I have written instructions, and I also have a page with links to TI-84 videos. Now, these videos here are videos that I've selected because the way the person is explaining it is in line with how I explain it, and they're using a textbook that uses similar notation to the textbook that we use. Okay, so that's one of the problems looking online for stuff, is that there's so many different ways to do the same problem. It can be confusing, and you can end up going on the wrong path if you're not looking in the right way. Okay, so I've got stuff for like almost every single chapter. It'll have, this is a chapter, and then this is what this is what you're going to use the calculator for. So I've got that module there. And you can see right there that there's a long list of things that you need to be able to do with that TI-84, right? So if you're thinking, oh, with the calculator, I won't have to do any math, you're really mistaken, because you have to know how to use that calculator, and you want to practice through your homework assignments. Okay, here we have I've got a module here with solutions. So remember how we have written homework? Here's where you go to get your written solutions, and then I'll put solutions to the exams here as well, okay? Now, if you click on it right now, it'll probably say you don't have access because, right, it's not due until Wednesday. So if you look right now and you get the answers, that defeats the purpose of the homework. Makes sense, right? But if it's due Wednesday at midnight, then Thursday it'll be unlocked, okay? All right, so I want to point that out. That's always there. Let's see what we're doing here. How many discussions do we need to respond to for full credit? So, okay, so the discussions are 10 points, right? So you get 5 points for doing the original post, and then 5 points for the follow-up, okay? The original post is going to happen by Thursday, and then the follow-up happens Friday, Saturday, Sunday, okay? And needs to be done by Sunday night, okay? And so that's one post, one of these cycles per week, okay? All right, extra credit opportunities. Here's where I will post opportunities for extra credit. The first one, which is due the June 25th, I think that's like next Monday, is to add a photo to your Canvas profile. So if you notice up here in the left-hand corner, is me, yay, right? It's helpful to put a picture up because, especially because it's online, you know, it's just really, it really helps to build community if we have some image, you know? So I'm giving you points for doing it, okay? And anytime I have extra credit, it's in this little module right here. And now here in this course info, this one is the big kahuna, and this talks about, for instance, communication. You click on here, and I explain what is the Q&A discussion board for. I explain that email, one of the things is you might want to redirect your email to your personal email, right? Because I send messages to your Canvas email, and you need to get those messages. So you click here, you get instructions to change it. Another thing is that some people want to update your name, right? And there's a way to change it so that the name that shows up is the name that you prefer, okay? And you can click there for more information, right? I'm pretty good with email, but again, if you send me an email that would be helpful for the class, I will redirect you to post it in the Q&A discussion board. But I check my email pretty frequently, and I'm gonna really try to stay in touch. That is what let me stop the share so y'all can see me, okay? This is what I can do for you. What can I do for you? Aside from my expertise, what I can do is I can be here and be available to help you through this. The only way that works, though, is if you let me know that you need help, right? Then you say, hey, Kalila, da, da, da. The best case scenario is that you're sending me emails and we are flooding the discussion boards, because that shows that learning is happening, right? If everything is silent, everything is dead, yikes, right? So let me help you. How I help you is by you like reaching out to me, and then let me be there to help you. Okay, got it? That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm here for. I'm not volunteering, by the way. I am being paid. Make me earn my money. Woo, money. All right. All right, I'm gonna stop being silly here. Let me go for, I think I lost the window. I'm trying to get, here we go, yeah. Okay, so back to Canvas. Share screen. Let me do, yeah, we're back to Canvas here. Okay. So we're in modules. We're in the first one here. I have this up here for anonymous feedback. You can click here and at any time give me anonymous feedback to help this course be better and to help me to better serve you. You just click here and give me the feedback. Please do that. We already discussed the course materials. Calculators, my lab and mastering. You click here if you need help with Canvas, right? If you're new to Canvas, someone put in the text bucket or the chat line. They said, hey, what's Canvas? How is Canvas an app? What is Canvas? Click here. It's a 2-minute orientation video. It'll let you know all about Canvas, right? If you want even more help, click here. So someone just asked a question in the chat window, do I have physical office hours at COA? No, I will not have physical office hours at COA. The office hours that I have will be virtual office hours, okay? All right. Now, my lab and mastering. Okay, so we're gonna skip that because we're gonna come to it next. Here, tutoring and office hours. Bam, I really thought this out. Office hours, yeah. I'll hold office hours every week. I'm thinking Sunday evening or Monday evening, but we'll see what works with you all. And then I'll upload the login link and we'll do it like here, this way. Now let me go to the next one, which is free tutoring. So aside from me, we also have 3 different ways to get free tutoring, two of which are 24/7 online, and one of which is a face-to-face. You can go into COA, go to the math lab and get help. For this net tutor, do you see over here in the left sidebar, when you click on online tutoring? Let me show you how easy it is. You click online tutoring. It's going to open up a new window. You scroll down to statistics and probability, and then meet with a live tutor. There's one user ahead of you. So we would just wait for a few minutes, and then the person is going to be like, how may I help you? Right? So this is stuff that is paid for. This is part of what we're paying for. Right, is that net tutoring, so that's free, and that's like 1 click away. Okay, that's over there. With the Learning Resource Center, something that I wanted to,
15.
Thank you, something I wanted to point out,
15.
Thank you, is, and this is good for Savannah possibly, I wanted to click on the link, the person to go to, so for the tutoring, so for the face-to-face tutoring, I'm gonna type this, tutoring. There is a tutor that I highly recommend. I've worked with him semester after semester after semester. He knows the graphing calculator better than I do. Okay, so especially, right, it's go to him. I really recommend him. His name is Rusty. Okay, now if you go to, when you click on this link here, it opens up a PDF and it'll be a schedule of who is tutoring and all of that. Face-to-face tutoring, go to Rusty. All right, Rusty will take care of you. Tell him you're in my class. He will hook you up. Okay, so that's the free tutoring. And so between these three and then office hours with me, you should totally be good. And each other, that's another thing. We've got this, we can do it. The last little thing I have here is advice. Now, I've got two forms of advice. One is advice that I wrote down for you all. Part of it is, you know, it's just really good, it's amazing. This is unbelievable advice. I can't tell you how good this is, right? Oh, Reed found a free download for the textbook. Great. Please share that free download in the Q&A. Read if you can. All right. So I was kind of teasing about it being really awesome advice. I think it's awesome because I wrote it, right? But this might be helpful because we've got so many different ways to learn the material. Sometimes you really do need to follow my YouTube videos, and sometimes it doesn't matter about, sometimes it doesn't matter what you use. So just remember that this is here with an outline of when to use what, okay? Like for some chapters, you don't have to use your calculator, but for some chapters, you can't do it without a calculator, right? You would like have to use calculus and, you know, just, yeah, you get me. And then I have some information here about just advice, right? If you want to fail this course, read here and do this stuff right here, right? You get it. And then the last thing is written homework. So now some people have an issue or think that you don't need a scanner. You might be thinking that you need a scanner. You don't need a scanner. If you have a cell phone that you can use as, right, you can use your cell phone as a scanner. And I've got like links here because you're going to need to upload your written homework. Like the first exam is going to have some homeworks that you need to write out or have some problems where you need to show your work. And how are you going to upload it? Well, you don't need to go to Kinko's. You can just use your cell phone. Okay, so those links are here. Cam Scanner is the most popular one, but I've listed a few there. Okay, now after this advice that I wrote, we get down to the real advice, the real good advice is here, which is when you click on this, this is the advice from students that I had last semester in a hybrid course. And what should happen is this should open up. But you click here and you can read what they say you need to do in order to pass the class. Okay? And so all of that's really, it's not showing up now, but you know, that's really good. Okay. Here's what we need to do. We need to go back to, so we've gone through everything in this course information except the big kahuna, which is the MyLab and Mastering. So if we click here on MyLab and Mastering for this first one, this is some general information about the MyLab and Mastering. And here's where I'm going to talk about the textbook. Now, you have, so first you can click here for instructions on how to register. This is a different, it's different than how you might be used to because I have MyLab and Mastering integrated with Canvas. So you will not go to www.pearson.com, okay? What you'll do is, for instance, let me show you. So say you're, in week 1 and you're gonna do your homework, right? Or say you're gonna take the quiz on online learning, right? This is the first quiz. Mike, internet connection is unstable? Okay. What shows up should be this is the MyLab. So the MyLab is going to show up in Canvas. Does everybody get that? And then you start the test. It'll tell you right here how many questions there are, how long, how many attempts you have, and all of that. And now so the MyLab is integrated. So let's do this. What's our answer to this first question?
A.
A? All right, we'll go with A. What about second question?
F? Oh, no.
All right, so we got A, B, C, or D.
Skills A is last.
D? People saying D. Let's go for D. Here's C. What do we think?
D.
We'll just go with D. All right. So it's not that big of a deal because we can take this as many times as we want, right? So say you're done, you're going to submit your quiz. It's going to give you a little flag to say, hey, you're not finished. You say, I don't care. I'm going to submit it anyway. And then I look and I say, okay, all right, 1 was correct, 2 was correct, 3 was incorrect. Nah, let me do it again. But you might be saying to yourself, hey, wait a minute. How in the world am I supposed to know the answer to some question about cash and cookies and all of that, pop up, all of that, right? How am I supposed to know where to find the information that I'm being quizzed on? Let me show you how to do that. Over here, you're going to click on My Lab and Mastering. You're going to go down to the course home. Okay, so you're going to have a link for My Stat Lab course home. What this is going to do is take you into basically like Pearson.com. Okay. Now, here we are. We're at the course home, right? On the left-hand side here, we can go to the Multimedia Library. Now, say if I know where I want to start, if I want to start just with chapter 1, say you're working in chapter 1, you can start with chapter 1, and then you can say I want all sections or whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all chapters so that we can see all of the resources that are available. Okay, so I'm going to say select all media types. So notice we've got learning activities, the textbook. Do you see over here on the left-hand side, ebook? Do y'all see that? You click here and you've got your ebook. If you want a hard copy of the book, then you can pay for it or rent the book if you want a hard copy. But you have the ebook available to you as part of what you pay for. Now, for us, I'm going to eliminate StatCrunch. I'm going to eliminate R and SPSS tutorial videos because we are going to be using the TI, right, TI 84. So I'm also going to get rid of Excel and I'm going to get rid of Minitab. But look, there are PowerPoints, right? Test prep videos. So I go find now. And now look, these are all videos that we have to show us how to do certain activities. Okay. Now here's a question from Duke. If I bought the hard copy of the book, will it include an access code or do I have to pay double? It depends. If you only paid like about $100 for your book, then it did not include an access code. If you paid about $250, then you bought the book and the access code, okay? So the access code itself is about $130 if you buy it from the bookstore or $105 if you buy it online, okay? And then the textbook is about $100 or $130. So you do not need to double, you can you have to purchase access to these assignments, and the access to these assignments includes access to the ebook. Does that make sense? And access to all this stuff right here, like videos here. Do you see this multimedia textbook? So if you click here, this is the content of that hard copy book. Here are PowerPoint slides, right? Here are section videos. So video lectures on the sections from the textbook are right here, okay? These are videos, we'll talk about these a little bit later. These are videos on the skills checks. If we scroll down, I'm going down chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10. Now down here at the very bottom, there's this business about online learning, okay? And down here, are you ready for online learning? What to expect in an online course communication, online learning. So you would click here, watch this video, and then that gives you the information that the quiz is based on this content down here, right? So it's in part of this chapter SSM2, skills for success. Okay, so now I'm gonna look at this over here on the chat. If I bought the hard copy, yeah, I already answered that. The ebook is sufficient then? Correct. The ebook is sufficient. Look over here. If we do e-text, I'm gonna click on e-text, click here, and what pops up, hopefully, is the book. So that you can kind of see. Why do some people buy the hard copy? Because they don't like this format, right? Because here, right, you click the pages, you go click the pages this way. They have a way for you to highlight and stuff like that. But, you know, if you want to have a hard copy, then get a hard copy. If you're fine with an ebook, then don't pay for the hard copy because you're paying for access to this ebook, right? So that's part of what you're paying for, okay? Leah makes a good point, which is that they also offer a free 2-week trial to get access in case you're waiting on getting paid or something. Very, very true. Now here's the deal. After that 2 weeks is up, in order for your grades to be transferred, you have to go ahead and pay, pay the rest of the money to get in the class, okay? All right, so everybody see where the e-text is? You see where the textbook is? It is in your, let's see here. So you go to My Lab and Mastering on the left, and then you go down to Course Home. That takes you into the My Lab website, and from there you can access videos and all kinds of good stuff. So let's go back to the module and course materials, My Lab and Mastering. Okay, so now some of you have taken this course before and you want to know if you can use the same access code, or maybe you've taken a different math course. And the answer is probably not, because I'm using a different edition, but you should try it. It can't hurt. What do I get for my money? This right here explains, this is my reasoning for saying that you have to pay $100 and something, right? A big one is this one right here. So there's a part of the there's a part of the My Lab which is called study plan. Every single student I've had who's used the study plan has gotten an A. To me, that's a good idea, right? You can click here for more information about the study plan. It's really great. Another thing we're going to do is we are going to use the fact that this new version has an integrated review, and I'll show you that a little bit. And then down here we have about the temporary access, right? Go for it. You can click here. But just to notice, you can't pass the course if you don't have, if it's not paid, because I won't have your grades, okay? And your grades have to come in through Canvas, okay? All right, so that's about the My Lab and Mastering. Now you might be in a situation where let me go to modules, where you log on and you're having trouble accessing My Lab and Mastering. So, oh, that's a repeat. But so the key is you want to, on this next page here, number one, we already saw in the Q&A, someone had a question. They said, hey man, I don't know what's going on. I can't access my lab. The answer is probably your computer is not set up. And so click here and it'll tell you the requirements, and it'll even, run you through something so that you can set up your computer. Suppose you need help. Click here, that will give you help to access. The last thing here is I've linked a little video. It's a 2-minute video that shows you how to register when you are using Canvas. Okay, so I don't have a code to give you or a number. You have to access through Canvas, and your Canvas and my lab are linked. You can watch this video and that'll show you a little page will come up and you put in your, you put in your credit card number, or you put in the access code that you purchased, and then it links those two. Okay. Let's see, how are we doing? Aside from just the overwhelm of so much stuff, right? I'm still checking this little chat room, so let me know if you're having questions. Would you be giving lectures like this on a regular basis? I do not have a plan to give lectures like this on a regular basis, Reed, because, let me show you what I've done. All right, so here we are. Now this is week 1. Do you see all the stuff that we need to do this week? Do you all see all of this? That's a lot of stuff. Are you all aware when is the first exam? Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, first exam on chapters 1 and 2, right? So this is the only week where I'm gonna have you turning in stuff on Friday and Saturday, because we got to get ready for that first exam. The first exam is a take home. You'll have 24 hours to get it done, but like make use of that opportunity to get a solid A, right? Don't just say, it's not going to count, it's too soon. Go ahead and seize the moment. Now here we go. Suppose you start with chapter 1, right? So you did your discussion, you did your orientation. Okay, let me show you. Orientation written homework. This is what it looks like on my end. You'll click here and then there'll be some exercises. The point of this assignment is not for you to answer those questions correctly. The point is for you to get practice uploading your work. Do you get it? Do y'all get it? Mm-hmm. And so I don't want you to not know how to upload your work and then you do your real work and then you miss the deadline because you didn't practice uploading the work. Okay. All right. So now here we go. We already talked about the quiz. The point of the quiz is to get you familiar with online learning in general and to give you a boost to your grade. So it's like a nice little opportunity to get a nice, good 100%, get started on a good foot, right? And I'll have a practice quiz all ready. Now you're ready for chapter, oh, that's the quiz, sorry. Okay, so now you're like, I'm ready for chapter 1. Oh no, you did your discussion. Sorry, I forgot. I'm ready to jump ahead. So see, a lot of people are on it, right? A lot of people are on it. Okay. Next one. Here we go. Q&A, that's always going to be there. All right, you're ready for intro to stats. So I have here, start here with your chapter 1 skills check and skills review. So before each chapter, now I don't know, some people, it's been a while since you've done math. Some people, you were doing math last week, right? Now, you can get tripped up on the math because you forgot your algebra, you forgot this stuff, you forgot that stuff. So that's the benefit of this integrated review, right? So you'll start for each chapter. There's some prerequisite skills for most of the chapters. For some of the chapters, you don't need them. They're prerequisite skills. So you'll take this little test. This doesn't count for your grade, but it determines whether you need more practice, right? So let's go ahead and do this little, so I want to give you an example of what it's like. Let's say we're going to do question 8, right? I'm just picking stuff at random. Express the given decimal as a percent. What's the answer?
2.87%.
What should I put in?
Are we rounding up?
I'll be right. 1%.
92.
92.87.
92.87. All right, then I go next. Eliminate the double negative signs in the expression. So now, for instance, it might have been a while, and you forgot how to do your negatives. You know how if you have 2 negatives, they cancel out to a positive, right? So, what's the answer? (92.87%). Just kidding.
No.
That was for the last one.
22. -7.
-7.
-15.
-15. -7.
-15.
All right, -15. We'll go for it. We'll see. Now we're just gonna submit. Now say it's okay. It's okay. Now say you forgot how to do your percentages. Then you're going to get that question, score 18.88, 2 out of 11. So I think we got both of the questions correct. But if you didn't get it correct, then what would happen is that you now have some practice problems to do. Do you see? So these practice problems here are because we didn't answer 8 of those questions. Do you get what happened there? And so the practice problems also are not mandatory, but actually they don't count towards your grade, but you have to get 90% on the skills review before you can start the homework. Why? Because if you start the homework and you don't know how to do your percent to a fraction or your fraction to a decimal, you're going to end up getting that stuff incorrect. So we separate that stuff out and you practice that, and now we can go ahead and get started on the for real statistics. You see what's going to happen there? So most of the chapters will have this little skills check. And again, if you say, well, I forgot how to do my decimals to percents, or I forgot negatives, Kalila, where can I go and get some video to practice up on that? You click over here to My Lab and Mastering. Okay, you're going to go to this My Stat Lab course home, right? So now you're going to go into My Math Lab. On the left-hand side here, go to the chapter contents. We're in chapter 1, and we want to do the integrated review, right? So you click on the integrated review, and now, do you see here you've got videos? So reading graphs, you've got videos. Basic symbols, you've got videos. Percents, you've got videos, right? Converting decimals to percent, click on that, and then what happens? Can you all see this little video that shows that's popping up? I don't know if you can see it or not, but in a new window, you get a little, let me do a new share. Let me do a new share. So the new share is going to be here. This is so we can see. Do y'all see here? And then play.
A percent is a ratio or fraction whose denominator is 100. It means per 100. Let's use this idea to help us write out some percents.
Okay, good. So you see, and then you get practice on, so it's like a 2-minute video. And then, you know, you can watch it again and again, and that gives you practice for the stuff that you need. You see what's going on there? We're good, right? And then it'll show you, okay, here's how to move it over. Here's how to not move it over, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let me do a share screen. Hi, everyone. Okay, so we are back to, we're back to here. So you know how to access those videos. All of that stuff is part of what we're paying for, what you're paying for. And it's very helpful to have it all in one location and to have reliable sources. So let's go back to the module. We're gonna go back to the assignments. Now, believe it or not, I'm very long-winded, but I am getting back to the original question, which was, am I going to hold lectures like this? Right, that was the original question, and here's the answer. So you're in chapter 1, you've done your skills check, you did your review homework, and you're ready to start your My Lab, right? Before you do that, click here. So this very first page, right? Oh, also, if you click here, this gives you instructions on how to find the stuff I just talked about, right? But so you read this, this is some good little information to get you set up. And now, for this section, I have read section, watch the online lecture video here, click here for instructions, blah, 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 and then start the homework assignment. So I do that for each section, right? Now, for chapter 1, I refer you to the videos that accompany the textbook because the material is very routine and I think they do an excellent job of presenting the concepts. However, once we get to chapter 2, that's where I step in with my videos that I have done, my little YouTube videos. So here we are, chapter 2, descriptive statistics, right? Click on this first little link here, descriptive statistics. You read this stuff here, and now you've got YouTube videos. This is me. Basically, what I do with these videos is I go through and I work examples. It's like 95% just me working examples. And I go through them slowly, and you can pause and go back. If you have questions, let me know, right? And I explain all the steps. So the videos are long, and the point is, if you got it, fast forward over that part, right? Because it's easier for you to fast forward over it versus for me to try to, if I skip steps, that's very frustrating for students. Okay, so I have these little videos for each section. I have videos that I've created. Let me see, and in the, right, it's just me talking with the slides. Today, we're going to continue with chapter, right? And it's just me talking about, you know, and well, the mean is, you know, kind of the average. So it's my voice. You can click through, right? You can change the speed, put it on fast, put it on slow. I go through all the vocabulary terms. And this is my way to give you a lecture that is. So if you add up your new, how many times are we adding it up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? You can watch that and it's just as much as you want, just as much as you want. And each video is, sometimes videos are 30 minutes, but more likely they're like around an hour. So it corresponds to like if you were in class, we were in class and I'm lecturing that way. Okay. And so all of the videos, sometimes like if a video is split in 2, it's because something happened with my recording material. All right. But I've got videos. So you've got videos from me. You also have videos from the textbook people. And then of course there are other YouTube videos. I know that's really helpful sometimes, is to hear it from a different approach. So hopefully, right? Hopefully that's good. What I want to just remind you of is right here, I've got this chart under the advice from Dr. Bill. I've got a chart here from when sometimes use textbook videos. Sometimes I say my videos are helpful and they're shortcuts with the calculator. And then sometimes I say you must follow my videos, right? So what I'm doing in my videos is I'm showing you, here's how to do it for the exam, right? And then sometimes I say you must learn how to use a calculator because the textbook does not emphasize using technology, right? And so I have it written down here, when to do what, okay? All right, I think that is pretty much, modules, I think that is pretty much it. I can't think of anything yet. So you've got a written homework assignment, might be for 2 combined, right? 2 sections combined. Let me see, let's go back to the, here we are, okay. So back to the tech report. We talked about the calculator, we talked about Canvas, we talked about My Lab and Mastering. Yeah, approaches towards learning. We are, there's so many different ways to learn in this course because there's so many different ways that people like to learn. My YouTube videos, I have YouTube videos up. Also slides, if you like slides and you want to see the slides, I have links to the slides that I use in the videos. And there are also slides that are available through the MyLab and Mastering. If you remember, that was one of the options with slides. Sometimes there are MyLab and Mastering videos to watch. You've got the ebooks, so if you prefer to read. And then lastly, other websites. Whatever you do, I encourage you to, and I'm putting this on so everybody can see me. It's so dark in here. I feel like I'm gloomy. But I encourage everyone to please, please, please save your work. And the reason why I'm saying to save your work is because each semester I have at least 2 students who are robbed. They lose their work. Something, tragic happens. And, they don't have any work, right? And so for an exam, you're bringing in your sheet of notes. It's hard to come up with a sheet of notes if you lost all your stuff or someone stole all your stuff, right? So especially because this is an online course, you can keep track of the work that you're doing, screenshots, right? Save those files, all of the homework assignments. I've set it so that you can save PDFs afterwards, okay? Keep a log of the work that you're doing because it makes it so much easier when you return, getting ready to study, number 1. And number 2, remember that since everything is with Canvas, your access is going to end after the course ends. So if you want to refer to the material that we're doing, you need to have, right, you got to kind of save what you're doing. Okay. Will each test be cumulative? No, none of the tests will be cumulative. So for the first test, it's over chapters 1 and 2. The second test is going to be over 3, 4, and 5. The third test is going to be essentially over 6, 7, and 8. And the fourth test, which is optional, will be over 9 and 10. We can have notes on test day. Not you can have all your notes, but for instance, on exam 3, you can bring in a sheet of notes that's handwritten front and back.
Okay.
Right? For exam 2, you get half a sheet of notes, front and back, right? Exam 1, you get 24 hours to do it. Please use notes, right? My goal is for everyone to get like an A on that first exam. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Unless you something happens and you have an emergency, you can't spend time on it. Other questions? I know there's some questions I know there's some stuff. Oh, when you email me, so say if you're going to email me or you're going to post something on those boards for help, the way to get a response is to include a screenshot of what you're talking about if it's a problem or something to reference. Because if you just put up there, hey, I need help on this problem, it's very hard to know what you're talking about. And then by the time I say, oh, what are you talking about? And now you get it back and you're like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. We've wasted a lot of time. And so if you can just, include as much information, that helps to speed the communication up. Okay. Oh, come on here. Let's see here. Yeah, so take notes. Don't live dangerously. Learning resources, we've already talked about this. There's free tutoring, office hours. I'll hold office hours. People probably won't come, but, I hold them anyway. What do we think? Are the quizzes timed? Yes, those online quizzes are timed. They are, I think, set to be 12. They're set to be 12 points, so it's like either 6 questions or maybe 12 questions. They should be less than an hour, right? They should be less than 1 hour. But remind me on that, right? So the point is that it's not supposed to be something where you work on them unlimited, You should sit down and do it in one setting. If you close your browser or something like that, then you're shut out. Okay? Amy, you're good. We're almost done. You're good. I'll see you later. All right, you get credit. Did everyone write their name in the chat window? Because that's the way I'll know that you were participating. You're very welcome. See you later. Other questions? No? So y'all are saying that now. Just kidding. All right. I'm tired. I'll be here. If you are on the wait list, hang out a little bit longer and we'll talk about it. Looking forward to get to work with you too, Peggy. All right, well,